Hey guys, Alex here. The topic we're going to be talking about today is immigration. This is one that is all over the media, talked about by politicians, and even more so by presidential candidate Donald Trump and his more conservative views about immigration. For my thesis, I stated that if more Anglo Americans were informed about the motivations and the issues that immigrants were facing, um, in their home country, that they would be more accepting of immigrants. And through the interviews, that is definitely shown. Most of everyone that I've interviewed had some sort of interaction with them or they read about it. So it shows that the more informed people are, the less likely they are to not be accepting. However, one of the interviewees, she had a good point, was that some people are just stuck in their old ways, and no matter how well informed they are, they're still going to hold on to those old ideals that they have. So with the interview also, I didn't interview just one person. I interviewed four. Three of them you're going to see in the video. One of them is currently overseas, so they just sent me their answers, and I kind of added it to the overall kind of answers that I had. Hope you guys enjoy it, and this is definitely a good issue, so have fun.
Alright, I'm ready. Let's do this damn thing.
Who do you think of when you hear the word immigrant?
Mexicans.
Well, in more recent years, I would have to think of, it would make me think of Russians and Hispanics, because we've had a big influx of them coming into our country. But historically, we all come from immigrants, people coming here to have a better way of life, to start life anew.
Mostly South American refugees and Mexicans.
Okay. And why is that?
Because they're the most dominant immigrant group right now.
Because they're more dominant right now. It's not like in the beginning it was people from Europe, like the Irish, because of the famine and stuff like that.
What problems do you have with the current immigration laws or system? Is it too strict or not strict enough?
I don't really have any problems with it.
I don't really know how strict it is, so I don't know that I can answer that question, because I don't really know what our immigration law is.
That's hard to say because we're getting too many, and it's hurting our economy.
How would you feel if immigrants who are crossing the southern border were considered refugees because of the internal war that is occurring between drug cartels and the police as well as the government?
I feel like some of them are considered refugees already because of the cartels across the border.
Well, actually, I feel like that they are refugees. They are fleeing from horrible conditions, not only in Mexico, but in Central America and South America. They need a place to go, and of course the United States is just the natural place on the map because it's north, and we're the first country. I mean, we have Canada, but that's a lot further away for them. So I think they really are refugees.
I think that's right. There should be, find out why they are here, and if it's political or, unjust, like the cartel is after them or whatever, their lives are in danger, then they should be allowed to stay.
Do you think that the attitude towards immigrants would be a lot different had they been escaping a dictator, much like the Cubans with Fidel Castro and the communist regime?
Probably to a lot of people it would make a difference. As far as I'm concerned, what they are escaping is probably just as bad as dictatorship. They're escaping from, so many of the families are looking at death. There's so many of them that are actually killed, them and their families. They have the drug cartels down there that are just horrible, and they're fleeing from awful conditions.
No, I think it should depend on each individual.
Is there a separation of feelings and attitudes towards immigrants who come to the U.S. to work hard and support their families and don't exploit the system versus those who do come to the United States and take advantage of the welfare system? Or are all immigrants the same?
Yeah, I think there's a difference, because you got the ones who come, work, support their families here and in Mexico. Then you got the ones coming over here just living off our tax money. I ain't trying to pay for your baby. That's not cool.
No, definitely not. I think that people are more apt to accept them when they are coming up here really wanting to get a job, really wanting to be able to support their families in much better conditions than what they're coming from. I think a lot of people, though, put them all in the same category, that they're coming up here because they hear that our welfare system is so easy to get onto, but I don't feel that way about them. I think there's a totally difference in the two.
No, I think they should be, like I say, given a chance. You know, if they're on welfare or whatever you want to call it, assistance, but give them a grace period, and if they're not searching for work or anything, then they don't deserve to be here.
There are plenty of Anglo-Americans whom exploit the welfare system and live solely off the government. Why is that accepted, whereas immigrants who come to the country to work hard and support their families and also receive no state or federal aid, why do they receive such negative attitudes from Anglo-Americans?
I believe it's because of their race, and because white people have always somewhat been racist. I mean, you see my grandma, she's out there, she sees a Mexican, she gets pissed because they don't speak English. Now, I'm not like that, but then you got Joe Blow, fat boy in Walmart. I'm paying for his groceries and his rent because I work 40 hours a week, taking tax money out of my check so I can pay for his ass. Then you got the Mexicans working, not asking for anything. I'm on their side. Joe Blow can go to hell.
I suppose with a lot of people, they accept it more because they feel like, well, it's our people, and so therefore they have more rights to it. But I think the majority of the people I talk to, nobody really likes even the white people getting on assistance and just staying there because they're too lazy to work. But it just seems like that when people think of, well, these are outsiders and they're coming in and taking advantage of what we have to offer. But to me, it's, I don't like it when our own people take advantage of the welfare system. Instead of, if you need to be on it for a while in order to get yourself on your feet again, that's fine, but too many people do stay on it. But I know that a lot of people do think, that's what they think of the Hispanics coming out, that's why they're coming. I don't see it in that way, but I know a lot of people do.
I don't think there is any difference. It's government. The people don't accept the people here that's already here, Anglos, that are milking the system. I mean, it's the government allows it. It's not the people that's allowing it.
How do you think attitudes towards immigrants would change if people had more interaction and knew of their struggles that they faced every day?
I think a lot of people would change their minds, especially if they could interact with them and maybe hear their own stories from the people of what they have had to go through, how they have struggled with trying to raise their family and the problems that they're having. I know for myself, because I've read a lot about what's going on in a lot of the Central American countries and South America and Mexico, and the deplorable conditions that these people are having to live in with little kids and their families. Some people, I don't think it would matter to them. They seem to be set in their ways. They have their own ideas, and they feel that this is our country, and they don't want new people coming in because it's going to take away their jobs and other services. But I think for a lot of people that it would make a lot of difference if they just got to know the people and heard about their struggles.
Probably. It's only reasonable that if you knew a person more, you would know, you know, what their struggles are and everything, where basically they're all categorized the same when they come across, you know, they're illegals, you know, send them back, where some of them deserve to be here.
How do you think views would change if people knew that U.S. corporations, so companies on Wall Street, as well as U.S. intervention in South America, was one of the biggest reasons for the high numbers of immigrants coming to the country?
I think in that case, I think a lot of people probably would be outraged knowing that it was caused by our own people. But you're still going to have those that are not going to feel any different. I think some people, no matter what types of things they find out about the immigrants and why they are coming and the deplorable conditions they're running from, and that these corporations have taken money from what they could have been earning. To some people it's not going to make any difference, but I think that there are a lot of people that it would. I know in my case, because I am sympathetic for their plight, that it does make me even more outraged at that our own corporations do this type of thing.
I think it's pretty messed up. If they're going down there, taking all the jobs away from them, what do they expect? Of course they're going to come up here for jobs, for a safer environment. That would go for anywhere. They could go over to China, take all China's jobs, bring them over here. We're going to have all the Chinese coming over here.
That one I don't really know.